style advances depending on the beat that I'm on. But basically, at the base of everything, I've been rapping the same since I was 20. So it's never changed.
How long did you say you've been out there in Washington?
I've been in Washington for 6 years.
6 years. So you developed that sound in North Carolina, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Did when you moved, did it have? I mean, did you notice any kind of? I know you said it hasn't changed much, but I mean, was there any kind of influence in your move to Washington on any part of your either the music itself or the way you do it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's different sounds now that I like. I would never done before. Um, I'm kind of open to it now, just after being out here and observing the scene and how some of that, like, and again, it turned into a whole new learning experience for me because the hip hop scene out here is very different from the scene I came from. So, like, I get to go to shows and hear people doing stuff that I didn't get to hear in North Carolina because nobody out there was doing it.
Yeah.
Just being on the West Coast, period, is a whole different. Like, they talk weird out here, everything. Like, it's all strange. You know what I'm saying? But like, um, the music, like, especially, I don't know if y'all like, I don't think people are very knowledgeable about Seattle's musical history. You know what I'm saying? Um, Jimi Hendrix is from Seattle. Like, a lot of people don't know that. There's a lot of really great music history in Seattle. So when they have like a definite Seattle sound, so to speak. Um, and I took small parts of that, just the sound, to add to the development of my sound moving forward once I moved here and started hearing everything. So, Open Bar, my first album that I released out here, is definitely unapologetically East Coast, no questions asked. But if you listen after Open Bar, you can start to hear some of the influence of the West Coast. So I think it's dope, especially having been on the East Coast my whole life. Coming out here definitely gave me some different influences to draw from.
Nice. And who like I agree with you completely. Like, you don't hear much about Seattle, up or that part of the West Coast. I mean, it's all California. You hear when you think West Coast,
Absolutely.
So like who else up around that area would you like recommend to people as far as checking
Oh
out Seattle?
wow. Okay, so probably like most of the dudes I run with, Fatal Luciano, Anthony Danza, um, what's the homie name? Oh, I can't remember his name. Oh, it's a dude named L Rock. He from out here in Tacoma. He's super dope. It's a lot. It's a lot of talented people out here. My crew, Take Over Music Collective. Shout out to y'all, Mojo Barnes, Double XL, Soul the Interrogator, Ready Ron Beast, Monster. Um, like, all of them are dope. And I'm not just saying that because they my crew. Like, I wouldn't be rocking with them if they weren't. So
Right.
I would definitely say check them out. Realistically, you could go if you go on Facebook and you type in like Seattle hip hop. There's a group called Seattle Hip Hop. Another group called Northwest Hip Hop with people from all over the Northwest in it. I would advise people just dive in and listen to some of the music that's getting posted in there. It's some really really dope stuff going on out here. Some of it's more vibey. Like, the best thing about it is you get a little bit of everything. Some of it's vibey, some of it's super lyrical, some of it's melodic. You get a little bit of all of that. So I would say I would start with Anthony Danza, um, and mainly because his whole style is based around the music that he makes. He samples a lot of '80s records, and he dresses to match the nostalgia of the music. Fat gold chain, fat gold rope chain, the Adidas tracksuit, Kango, the whole 9 yards. Like, he kills it, and he's so dope. Fatal Luciano is more of a lyricist in the mold of what you would expect from the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? But he's originally from Chicago. Um, and I actually just interviewed him on my podcast last week. So um, yeah, I think that's a great place to start because there's so much talent out here. I could probably take the rest of this interview just naming people if I took the time to think about it. So
Yeah, and as far as the hip hop scene goes, you already mentioned about the differences. Like what kind of specific differences have you seen between the East and West as far as the hip hop scene is?
I think out here it's a little more. I won't necessarily say unified, but I will say that they have they're quicker to lean to supporting one another. On the East Coast, it was like, okay, this is the biggest reason why I think this is the case too. If you think about it, on the West Coast, it's only three states.
Hmm.
It's Washington, Oregon, California. Three states. That's it. And even though you have differences even between Seattle and Tacoma, overall they're all Washingtonians. You know what I'm saying? And Washington has a vibe. Oregon has a vibe. California has a vibe. Yeah, the Bay and LA may be different, but overall, if you're in Cali, you know you're in Cali. It's a Cali vibe. On the East Coast, you got 13, 14 states right on the coast. You know what I'm saying? So like the differences between those places become more pronounced because there's so many. So even between North Carolina and South Carolina, very different. New York, New Jersey, very different. Um, so when you look at it like that, the competition is a lot more fierce on the East Coast. So a lot of the unity and stuff that I do see out here, and the support that I see out here, and even Atlanta, I will use them as an example. Atlanta, I think the Atlanta model kind of leaked over here to the West Coast. And even in Atlanta, where they support each other really heavily, like it's not as heavy out here as it is down here. It's way better than it is on most of the East Coast because, like I said, it's so much competition because that's what we come from. We come from the ciphers and battling and all that other stuff. And a lot of people out here and in other places didn't have to go through that phase because we had already did it. You know, they may have picked it up for a while, but by the time they got to making music, like it was really just make the record now. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got to do all that. Just make the record. They did that part already. So yeah, so it's way less competitive in that sense, but it is more competitive, I think, so in terms of stage performance, um, just the stuff that goes into the music out here is so vivid. So when I watch people put their music together, or I start seeing the videos that come out of what people are making out here, I realize, oh, like y'all are artists. Like this ain't no, you know what I'm saying? I heard a beat, I felt like rapping, so I rapped to it. Nah, like you really thought this whole thing out. You know what I'm saying? Back east, you have some of that, but a lot of times you'll catch 20 videos in a row of the same that look like it's the same record. Because if you just turn the shit on mute and you don't know it's a different song playing, they all doing the same thing. It's 20 little skinny dudes with no shirt on, jumping around, sweating in the house. Like, what is wrong with y'all? First of all, why is it 20 dudes in the house sweating and ain't no women nowhere? Like, I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of wild shit that be going on, yo. That's all I'm saying.
As far as like you talk about the competition differences, like a lot of people, like they need that competitiveness to really write. I mean, do you find it easier either way? Like do you need that sort of edge and competitiveness to get your pen out?
I'm a full time competitive MC always. Like um, I said it when we did the Carter Newman interview, and I'm gonna restate it right now. Like Eat a Mad Assassin is the reason why on some songs on Carter and Newton, it was more about the flow and how it sounded as opposed to me going bar crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like, dog, sometimes it don't need that. Sometimes we just need to make a dope song. And I'm like, okay, cool. I don't gotta be, you know what I'm saying? I don't gotta be Lupe right now. You know what I'm saying? I can tone it down a little bit and just, you know what I'm saying, just vibe it out. But I learned that from him, working with him on that project. But other than that, every single time I pick up a pen to write, my objective is to obliterate whatever's in front of me, whether it be the beat, whether it be a feature artist that's going to be on my song, whether I'm the feature artist on somebody else's song. Somebody hit me up for a record. Hey, I want you on this song. You better bring your A game then. I promise you, you better do it because don't send your verse when you send me the beat. Just send me the beat with the hook on it. Because if I hear your verse and it ain't good, I'm gonna use my entire verse to show the world just how bad your verse is. Um, that's just the way I am. You know what I'm saying? I was bred in battle culture, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know no other way to be. I do strive to make dope music, but to me, the lyricist and the beat, it's a marriage of sorts, but it's also a competition. I done heard a lot of so-called rappers get their ass kicked by a dope beat. You know what I'm saying? I heard it too many times, and I told myself, I promised myself I'd never fall victim to that.